shall we talk about drinks?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I do usually tie a wine into whatever the episode we're watching is, but I couldn't think of a wine that really like jumped out at me with this episode. But something that just presented itself is penicillin. So
Oh.
so June is nursing herself slowly back to health um, at the Keys household in this episode, utilizing homemade penicillin, which is just mold that's growing on fermented fruit. An old trick of an old Martha's trick. As opposed to an old wives trick. I fucking love it. So I'm drinking a penicillin. A penicillin is a relatively new. Oh, it's settled a little bit. It's been a while since I mixed it. um, Penicillin is definitely very quickly become a classic cocktail, even though it was originally made in 2005. I won't get into the history of it, but it is a drink of it's a drink of scotch, freshly squeezed lemon juice, a ginger honey syrup. So you literally just take like honey, melt it with a little bit of water, and some fresh grated ginger. I also throw some powdered ginger in there for good measure. Shake the shit out of that, strain it, pour it, I like just a little tiny bit of Isla Scotch on top, like a Lafroig or something super peaty, and boom, you've got the cure for what ails you.
Oh, that sounds
That's so
delicious.
cool.
It's pretty fucking delightful. It's citrusy and citrusy and delightful because it's just an insane amount of lemon juice. Honey just sweetens it up just enough. The ginger gives a nice spiciness to it. That little bit of the Isla Scotch on top gives it a nice smokiness. Also, I mean, it's definitely making me feel more revived. I can crawl out of bed after being shot, so here's my penicillin.
Excellent.
Cute.
I went the beer route. This episode really did things to me. I feel like I need therapy now. It was a lot. And I was thinking, okay, I would go with champagne because I wanted to like kick off the season. Let's celebrate a brand new season. My package stores apparently stopped carrying anything that I'd want to drink for champagne. I'm kind of like, wow, what the fuck, guys? So here we are. I went the beer route, which is my usual fallback. So for the first half, I have Kent Falls Brewing out of Kent, Connecticut. Some vague reassurance, everything's going to be all right. IPA.
That's perfect.
That's kind of how I went into this. You know, once June finally like walks in and basically collapses in the driveway and says, "Hey, we're here," I was like, "Okay, you know what? This is a friendly place. This is gonna be okay."
Mm-hmm.
By the end of the episode, I felt myself reaching for a too far juice. Which
Too
is
far.
by
Mhm.
Fair State Co-op and Drecker Brewing out of Minnesota. So the Everything's Going to Be All Right IPA, it's light and carefree, but with a really odd bitter finish. And then the Too Far Juice, which is a sour, it's blackberry plum, lactose, and marshmallow. It says we've pushed the juice too far this time. I think we've pushed the June too far this time.
Yeah.
But then also the marshmallow kind of makes me feel okay about it. So I just wanted these two beers to like reflect where I'm at in life right now with this episode. Lots of feelings.
That is a perfect front half, back half combination.
Well
You did
played.
well.
Thank God that my Packy lets me buy the can. I don't have to get a whole 6-pack or a 4-pack. I could just,
That's cool.
take them apart. It's really cool.
I am drinking. It's really pretty.
Oh.
Beautiful blue, right?
Yeah.
I had a glow stick in it earlier when I was showing Scarlett, and I was trying to get her to guess why my drink was the Blue Lantern. Well, at first I was trying to get her to guess that it was the Blue Lantern.
This is so great.
I was trying to get her to figure out why it was a tie-in, and she wasn't getting it. And then she was like, I really don't like riddles. And I'm like, oh, when they say that the safe houses have blue lanterns. And she's like, did it say blue lanterns? And I'm like, yeah, I think they did. I'm like, well, let me check before I talk about an entire drink and how it ties in if they don't actually say blue lanterns. But I was really positive. Alma said blue lantern. Yeah, no blue lantern. She definitely just says lantern. Multiple times lantern. Nothing about a blue lantern. I did think that the lantern the dude had was a really terrible blue. I'm like, how are they supposed to see that? And then if that isn't enough of a fail of a drink, it gets better from there, because at least I would have had a good Blue Lantern drink because I initially was going to use vanilla vodka with Hypnotic. And I love Hypnotic, but it's only because it was the first alcohol that I ever bought legally when I was 18 in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So there's a special place in my heart for Hypnotic, and I decided today was the day I was going to try it again and see how it tasted. But I didn't because it wasn't at my package store. So, Roxy, you're shaking your head about Hypnotic, but you're going to like crawl out of your screen when you see what I'm actually drinking.
No, I'm shaking my head because it's such a clear indicator of like the time, the year that you bought it.
Is it?
It hasn't been popular for a while.
Yeah, that I figured.
It's a clear indicator of our age.
But did it become popular then, or was it just because I was 18 and knew of it? Okay, I thought it was like a thing during that time.
It was.
It was in songs, so therefore I knew of it. That's pretty much the extent of my alcohol purchasing. And you know what? I'm 35 years old and not much has changed. Although now instead of listening to songs, I was purely operating on what blue thing can I find. So I have Blue Moscato.
That is not a shade of blue that occurs in nature.
It's not. It's terrible.
You broke me.
I know. I told you it was going to break you. It's really bad.
The glow stick. Tell her about the glow stick.
Well, I had.
Did it break? Did it burst open?
No, God, it probably would have made the drink taste better. No, I have too many lights on in here, so like it just looked like a pipe cleaner, and it just looked like something was floating in it. And I turned off all the lights, and then you could see nothing. So it was like it didn't work out for me. I'm still gonna drink it because it's alcohol, and I need something, but. I'm otherwise like a dry house, so what I have for the day is what I have. So here, cheers. Blue Moscato it is. I will tell you, I was a little alarmed. I was so focused on like finding something for this episode that I was just so happy to find it. And then I was happy to find a bottle in the refrigerator because it was a couple hours before we were recording. And I was like, great, it'll be cold. I won't have clinking ice in my glass. And then I got up to the cashier and it was less than $10. I've never spent less than $10 at a package store, even when I buy nips for cocktails that I'm making for this stupid podcast. I was like, what? She's like, $10. I'm like, oh,
wow,
this will be great.
Yeah, drinking on a budget.
Are you sure you don't have any Hypnotic around? Because I feel like at least that I could work with.
Or blue curacao.
Well, I have the blue curacao, but I'd already done that. I want to try something different.
Yeah,
but this
fair
all this
enough.
is blue curacao and cheap ass Moscato.
That is seriously wife blue too. It is the perfect like Serena blue color.
The only thing I did buy just like as a sort of backup plan, but like I hate it so much that it's just gonna go straight into the garbage. I got that UV vodka. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
I know.
yes.
And I hate vodka. Like I hate even good vodka, so like, I wasn't drinking that. That was purely just in case I needed more blue or something. I don't know why I bought it. I just needed a backup plan, but. Ugh.
Oh,
So-
Margery, your liver's gonna be having as tough a time as our psyche while
I
we
don't know
talk
if
about
it's
this
my
episode.
liver as much as like my insulin regulators.
Yeah, that's a better point. I said this before and I'll say it again. Instead of taking your drink cues from songs, take them from Psalms. Message me.
Oh, that should be a bumper sticker.
It should be.
All right, well, in any event, ladies, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.